Por favor, los jóvenes de undécimo, bajamos ya, gracias. Sara, por favor, mis muchachos. ¿Ha pasado una buena? Muy buenos días para todos. Les agradezco me colaboren con el silencio. Muchas gracias. Muy bien, hoy es el segundo día de presentaciones de la Semana del Inglés. Hoy es la época antigua y media a cargo de los grados primero, cuarto, séptimo y décimo. Vamos a iniciar entonces con el programa. And I'm going to start talking in English, right? Because it's English week. Okay, let's gonna start with Sebastian and Natalie, who are going to be the guests, right? The host, sorry. So they are going to be the host of this big day, and they will help us with their program.
Official program presentation of middle and ancient ages in church by first grade, fourth grade, seventh grade, and 10th grade. First, prayer in church by teacher Carl.
Second, ancient age introduction.
Second point one, ancient age characteristics by 7th grade and 10th grade.
Oral presentation, first civilizations, and some famous characters from that time by 7th grade students.
Third, the medieval times introduction.
A timeline in the latest history by first, fourth, and third grade students. Thank you. Okay, first, let's gonna start with a prayer for all the students. Okay. So, in the name of the Father, of the Son, the Holy Spirit, Amen. Be with me. I have here a prayer. Okay. Lord, true source of light and wisdom, give me a keen sense of understanding, a retentive memory, and the capacity to grasp things correctly. Grant me the grace to be accurate in my expositions and skill to express myself with truthness and clarity. Be with me at the start of my work and study. Guide its progress and bring it to its completion. Grant this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to start with ancient age, right? In church of 7th grade, we're going to start with Roman Egypt Empire, then Greek Empire, okay, Egyptian Empire with Geraldine, Salome, Annie, Gabriela, and Valeria. Ancient age. Okay, today we're going to learn about the first historical period. Let's learn about the ancient age. It began at the end of the Iron Age in prehistory, and it starts with the appearance of writing. Okay, so let's going to start with Egyptian Empire. Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about the development of the first writing system. The Mediterranean people created different writing systems. The Mesopotamians used cuneiform script, while the ancient Egyptians invented the hieroglyph script, and the Phoenicians devised a 22-letter consonant. The Phoenician alphabet was adopted by the Greek and the Google script. The support for writing were all different. Mesopotamian people wrote on clay tablets. The Egyptian and Greeks used papyrus, and the Hellenistic kingdom used parchment. The Roman used both papyrus and parchment. Preponderance of holistic religions. Most of the ancient religious texts aspects of religions that were associated, general with natural phenomena. The exception to the generalized policies were the Persians and the Hebrews. The religion of the Hebrews, Judaism, is the first monolithic religion in story. The Persians were also monotheists because of their exclusive worship of Ahura Mazda. But because religion, Zoroastrian had dualistic aspect in affirming the constant truth between good and evil, writing directly of the first lion. Ensuring harmonious coexistence between people during the ancient age, the first lions were joyful. They started crimes and applied penalties of offenders. The first known compilation of laws dated from 1750 BC before C, and was ordered by Hammurabi, king of the Mesopotamian city of Babylon.
Coexistence between different forms of state. In the ancient world there was no problem from a state. Sumerians, Phoenicians, and organized into independent city-states. Hebrews, Lydians, and Hurrians formed unified kingdoms.
How did they come about? In the desert Northeast Africa, along the Nile River, arose one of the most advanced civilizations of antiquity, the Egyptian. The first inhabitants settled in 800 BC, and over the millennia, they come to constitute empires important in the story.
Hello, my name is Cleopatra. I was smart and coming from Europe. My father is governor in Egypt in southern Egypt.
Okay, don't worry. Thank you. Thank you so much. So during this period, the ancient ages, the first civilizations arose and developed. I'm sure you have heard of them. Egypt and its pyramids and pharaohs. Greece and its wise philosophers and the Olympics. Go ahead. So, an applause for the Greek Empire. The Greek civilization. Muy bien, seguro han escuchado de la Edad Antigua. Fue un periodo que desarrolló varias civilizaciones y nos trajo bastantes invenciones, como la escritura, los Juegos Olímpicos, algunos filósofos en Grecia. Vamos a escuchar a nuestros compañeros que nos traen las invenciones y algunos personajes importantes de la mitología griega, como Zeus y Hércules.
Hello. The ancient Greece was famous for their rules and philosophy, for government and politics. It was in Greece, specifically in Athens, when the democracy was elected to primary form of government. The types of government of ancient Greece were democracy. Democracy is ruled by the people, and leaders were elected. Monarchy. The monarchy was led by a senior ruler, like a king. In Athens, this king was called tyrant. Oligarchy. The oligarchy is when ruled by a small group. The voice of government is three. The assembly included the people who vote. The assembly encouraged to take the important decisions and the new rules, like where or not go to a war. The council. The council was selected by the lottery. If your name was chosen, you submit to the council for 1 year. The ghost. The ghost was encountered to the trials. To the trials related, the ghost was 201 people, and the police trials it was 501 people. Thanks.
Hello, I have a question. Do you know who created the Olympic Games?
No, tell us.
Well, the Greeks started the Olympic Games almost 3,000 years ago in 776 before Christ. Who competed in the Asian Olympic Games? In order to participate, had to be of men, not labels. Who spoke Greek? Athletes were supposed to only be men. Where were the Olympic Games held? The Olympic Games were held in Olympia, hence the name Olympics. They held there because the gods lived on the mountain Olympus and the games was in honor of the king of God, Zeus. At the Greek Olympics there was only a single event. It was called a stadium and was a running race that ran on the stadium of around 200 meters. More events were added over the next era Olympics.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go and listen Hercules.
Hello to everyone. I'm Hercules. I was a demigod. That means that I was half god, half human. My father was Zeus, that he was the king of the gods. And my mother was Alcmene, that he was a beautiful human princess. I was the greatest of the mythological Greek heroes. Hercules it was my actually Roman name. My Greek name was Heracles. Some interesting facts about Hercules is that Walt Disney made a movie about him. And Hercules was only supposed to do 10 labors, but the king said that the Eugene stables and the slaying of the Hydra didn't count. I'm going to tell you about Zeus. Zeus was the king of the Greek gods, who lived in Mount Olympus. He was the god of the sky and the thunder. His symbols are the lightning god, the eagle, the bull, and the artery. He, he was married with Hera, y- Hera, his most famous powers are the lightning ball and the naked. He, he has 10 children.
Very good. An applause for the Greek Empire. Now, let's going to listen a story about Romulus and Remus and the rise of the Roman Empire and its fall. Vamos a escuchar la historia de Rómulo y Remo y cómo fue el inicio del Imperio Romano y su caída.
Hello everyone, I'm Remo.
I'm Romulus.
Our name starts with the beat of the Aztec on a veteran voice. Our mother was Rhea Silva, the daughter of King Numitor. Our father was Mars, the god of war. When me and Romulus were born, Amulius, the daughter of the King Numitor, ordered to a servant to throw us into the river Tiber. The servant placed us in a basket into the river in hope of someone will rescue us. Eventually, a she-wolf rescued us and pulled it to safety. The wolf cared for the twins until a shepherd from them took them home to his wife and named them Romulus and Remus.
Many years later, Remus was captured by Amulius, now the king.
Me, Fred, and we killed King Amulius, instead of becoming kings and taking to the throne themselves. Me and Remus, me and Remus set out to found out our city. We decided about which hill to win the Syrian army. We fight folk and me killed Remus, which dead Remus. I built my city on Palatine Hills and I named it Roma. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Very good. Now let's going to listen. Camila Angarita and Fabian Rojas are going to tell us about some characteristics about this ancient age. Let's go now listen. Listen to them.
Importance of agriculture as a source of food. During antiquity, most of the population lived in the countryside and worked the land. The main crops were wheat, barley, lentils, and chickpeas. Hierarchy of societies. In the ancient age, the population was grouped into groups that had different rights and obligations.
Prominence of the monarchy as a form of government. During the ancient ages, almost all states had absolute monarchies, in which kings concentrate all state powers in their hands. Some were elective, but most were hereditary, since when a king died, was succeeded by one of his sons, or some other relative, as well as being absolute and hereditary. The Egyptian monarchy was theocratic, as the pharaohs claimed to be living gods. Preponderance of war was a form of conflict resolution. Invasions and attacks on towns, fields, and caravans were constant in the ancient world. The war followed by the taking of spoils and the imposition of tribute to the conquered peoples, became the main source of resource for most of the empire of this time. Peace accords were rare. The first known peace treaty, that of Quadrash, was seen between Hittites and Egyptians around 1250.
Muy bien. Nos estaban comentando la importancia de la agricultura, que era el medio de sustento de la mayoría en la edad antigua. Y Camila nos estaba comentando que los problemas en esa época se solucionaban por medio de guerras. No había diálogo, todo eran guerras, por lo tanto, se llevaron a cabo bastantes conflictos. Entre estos, a continuación, una representación de cómo, después de que Cleopatra es destronada de Egipto, pide ayuda a Julio César, rey de Roma, a que le ayude a recuperar el reino. Un aplauso para Valeria Rojas y Samuel Quirós.
Albert Julio César in Egipto, I convinced him to help me regain the throne and in the war Julio César won. I regained the throne Julio César and I felt love and handsome.
Okay. She is Cleopatra. Her father was a Ptolemy 12 a pharaoh. She was smart. She grew up in Egypt. She met Julio Cesar and they fell in love. She asked Julius Caesar to recover her throne in Egypt. Julio Caesar was in love with her and he helped her. He fight with the Egyptians and he recovered the throne for her. After that, Julius Caesar was killed and Cleopatra met Mark Antony and she stayed with her. Después de que Cleopatra le pidió a Julio César que le ayudara a recuperar el trono, Julio César muere en una guerra en Roma. Entonces Cleopatra, muy afligida, encuentra otro amor en Marco Antonio. That's the end. Thank you. Ese es el... Ok, vamos a terminar esta época con el Imperio Bizantino y con la llegada de los pueblos bárbaros, la invasión de los bárbaros. So, an applause for Juan Alejandro Carrasco and Jesús Clavisco. The Byzantine Empire.
Fun facts about the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine Empire is almost entirely focused on religion. The office of the Louis of the Byzantine Empire was started until 700 CE, when it was changed to Greek by Imperial Russia. Constantinople was attacked and plundered by the Crusaders during the Fourth Crusade. The emperor often paid votes or a tribute to enemies to keep them from attacking. Emperor Justinian granted the right of women to vote, allowing language was a big help to widows after the husband had died. From the time of the early Roman Republic to the fall of the Byzantine Empire, Roman rule had a material impact on Europe for nearly 2,000 years. The city of Constantinople is called Istanbul today, and is the largest city in the country of Turkey.
Okay, now Constantine and Justinian 1.
Flavius Valerius Constantine was Roman emperor from his proclaimed the Easter on July 25, 306, and he ruled an ever-growing Roman emperor until his death. He was the first emperor to stop the persecution of Christians and keep Christianity freedom. Work of worship along with other religions in the Roman Empire. With the edicts on Milan in 330, Constantine is also known for having reformed the city of Byzantium. The heyday of the Byzantine Empire occurred during the Justinian dynasty in 527. Justinian became emperor. Under Justinian, the emperor gained territory and whereas the depth of its power and health. The great figure of the Byzantine emperor, known as the Great One, or the last Roman emperor, was the one who hoped to reform the Roman Empire. These nations from the barbarians, the territories of the East government that they had occupied in the West.
Okay, thank you so much. An applause for this. Now, let's listen to Neron, Julius Caesar, and Spartacus from the Roman Empire.
My name is Neron. I ruled Rome from 54 to 68.
one of the most notorious emperors of Rome, and is known to execute anyone who disagrees with me, including my mother. Where are you all? I was born in December 15 in 57 AD in the city of Italy near Rome. My father, Gnaeus Armenius Agenevalus, was a consul of Rome. My mother, Agrippina the Younger, was the sister of Emperor Caligula. How I became emperor in 54, Emperor Claudius died. Many historians believe that my mother poisoned Claudius our cold emperors. I was a cold emperors of Rome. At the age of 17, I killed my mom. Did I kill my mom? My mom wanted to rule Rome through me. She tried to influence me in politics and gain power for herself. Eventually, I got tired of my mother's influence and revolt. To listen to her, my mother became angry and began to plot against me. In revolt, I had my mother blaming the Christians. I made someone to blame for the fire that burned down Rome. I pointed to the Christian I had the Christian of Rome, arrested and killed. They were already murdered, even more than alive, crucified and thrown to dogs. This started the persecution of Christians in Rome. I killed myself. Thanks.
Hello. I was born in Suburra, Rome in 1 year before Christmas. I was born into an aristocratic family. My father died when I was 16. I became the head of family and was responsible for my mother and my sister. When I was 6 years old, I had by a private tutor. I learned how to read and write. I also learned about Roman life and how to speak in public. There were important skills I would need as a leader of Rome. In 46 before Christ, I returned to Rome. I was now the most powerful man in the world. The Senate made him emperor for life, and, and I was like a king. While in Egypt, I feel love with the queen of Egypt, Cleopatra. I helped her to aboard. I helped her aboard the pharaoh. My death is my death was on March 15th.
Hello, I talk about the biography of Spartacus. Biography of Spartacus early life. Not a lot is known about Spartacus' early life. He was basically a slave who joined the Roman army as a young man, like a gladiator. Spartacus lived the life a gladiator. He was basically a slave who was forced to fight for the entertainment of the Romans. He was sent a gladiator school, where he constantly tried to fight, escape. In 73 before Christ, 70 gladiators escaped from the gladiator school. They were able to steal their weapons and armors and fight their way free. They fled to Mount Vesuvius near the city of Pompeii, gathering more slaves, a small army as they went. More slaves joined. As Spartacus continued to have success against the Roman army, more and more slaves began to desert their owners and join up with Spartacus. Soon Spartacus forces had ground to over 7,000 slaves. The gladiators used their fighting experience to train a slave how to fight.
Okay, thank you so much. An applause for Melon and for and Forma. Now let's going to continue with the medieval times, right? Let's learn about medieval times, that it's the time after the ancient ages. Okay, now let's going to listen to Maria Paz with the Germanic invasion.
From the 10th century after Christ, various people of the Germanic origin from the world of Germany. At the time of very little invasions, the Germans also subsequently assailed the Romans. In 476, after Greece, the king of the Germanic town, the Earl of the Triangle of Augustus. La toma de guerra de Lispa marks the end of the Old Age and the beginning of the Middle Ages.
Okay, and thank you, Maria Paz. The invasions of the Germanic people, las invasiones de los bárbaros, suscitó la caída del Imperio Romano y dio inicio a la Edad Media. Right? So now let's going to listen to Let's listen the medieval times. The Middle Ages was a period in European history that came between ancient and modern times. It lasts from about 500 years to about 1,500. The Christian Church played an important part in history of the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages began when German tribes invaded the western part of the Roman Empire. The tribes took over the land and formed many small kingdoms.
The invaders also eventually converted to Christianity, which had become the major religion of Rome. The church became the one thing that everyone had in common. The Pope was the head of the Christian church. He and other church leaders became very powerful. Few people outside the church could read or write during the early Middle Ages. Religious communities called monasteries, therefore, were centers of learning.
Now let's go into listen to Clovis, a French guy.
Bonjour, mes amis. I'm Clovis. I was first French king to unify all of France. I was crowned as king from 481, after which I undertook a series of campaigns to subdue the other Frankish people. I was crowned king of around 509, after which I shortly establishing the city of Paris as the capital of my new Frankish kingdom.
Thank you so much. Now, the most successful king of this period was Charlemagne. He ruled the Franks in the region that is now France and Germany. The Pope crowned Charlemagne Emperor of the West, and he ruled the Holy Rome. He's going to talk about Charlemagne, Carlos Magno. An applause for Joel.
Hello, my name is Carlos Magno. I was born on April 2 and 714. My parents were Pilino and Bertrand Leon. I had 9 children and I died on 2018. I was king of the Franks from 768, nominal king of the Lombards from 774, and Imperator Romano Governance Imperium from 800 until my death. I spanned the different Frankish kingdoms until they were transformed into an empire, incorporating a large part of Western and Central Europe. I conquered Italy and was thrown in Imperator August by Congress December 25, 1800 in Rome. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Sebastian is going to talk about the Vikings.
The Vikings. The Vikings were a group of warriors from Scandinavia who between 8th and 11th centuries left their homes in order to raid and settle Europe, Asia and North Atlantic during the period known as the Viking Age. The Vikings were master seekers. Their unique design of their long shields enabled them to use sails. Quickly charge direction without turning around, sail up shallow rivers, perform beach landings, and carry the ships over portage. The Vikings formed fearsome raiding parties under leader with fearsome names such as Sigurd the Snake in the Eye, Sweyn Forgred, Ragnar Henry Riggs, and Harald Blucher. At a certain point, the Vikings ruled over most of England, and for short time in North America, 5 years before Columbus reached. Vikings, who were known in his Europe as Ross, formed the basis for the Kingdom Russia. In France, the Vikings, who were known as Northern, established the Duchy Normandy. Eventually, the Vikings assimilated into each of their nations, and their relatives back home were Christianized. By the 12th century, the Viking age was over. The Viking lived however, in the European imagination, both as destructive barbarians and as romantics and noble savages.
From the 800s to the 1000s, Viking invaders attacked many parts of Europe. The Vikings came from what are now Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. They made trouble for many rulers. Okay, listen to Alfred the Great. Good morning, my name is Alfred the Great. I was the Anglo-Saxon king of Wessex. Before I became a king, I was my brother's second in command, but then he died and I was crowned king and over the next several years. My folk of Vikings finally gave his son King of Peace. Alfred was an intelligent child who loved to learn and memorize poems. He traveled to Rome as a child where he met the Pope. The Pope anointed Alfred as an honorary consul of Rome. Muy bien, por muchos años Alfredo el Grande dirigió guerras contra los vikingos. Luego se hizo la paz. Thank you. Thank you so much. An applause for the Vikings and Alfred the Great.
Muy bien. Entre 1095 y 1291, los reyes cristianos y caballeros se unieron y participaron por toda Europa en una serie de cruzadas. Fueron a pelear con los musulmanes por el control que los cristianos consideraban Tierra Santa. Now Natalie is going to talk about that time.
By the end of the 11th century, after the Viking invasions, Western Europe had emerged as a significant power in its own right, and it came the time of the Crusades. The Crusades were a series of religious wars led by the Latin Church to defend the Holy Land, protect pilgrims, and combat paganism and heresy. These were participated by military elite as well as ordinary citizens. Those who joined the armed pilgrimage wore a cross as a symbol of the church. The best known of these crusades are those of the Holy Land, when Pope Urban II proclaimed the First Crusade that was intended to recover Jerusalem and its surrounding area from Islamic rule. After the Crusades, the church gained a lot of wealth, and the power of the Pope was also elevated. It also increased the trade in Europe because of the constant demand for supplies and transportation for the wars, making the people be more interested in traveling and learning about new creations around the world.
Now Hasler with the inventions, las invenciones de la época media, castillos y caballeros.
Invention of the Middle Age. 400 of years story from the Middle Age have been three generations from the war in the sun to Game of Thrones. But historic England was more than just kings and queens, castle and warfare. Was to the medieval England a period that introduced us to some of the most revolutionary solutions to society's greatest challenge, including hygiene and defense. Here's a list of 7 of the top inventions. How many surprise you? Castles. Castles are probably the famous invention of the Middle Age. The Normans built the first castles in England. The earliest were carefully placed for rapid construction. Simple earthwork, moats and ditches, defended by palisades of shaped timber stakes. Knights. Knights, armored men on horseback, were the most iconic inventions of the Middle Age. The arrival of Norman knights in 1066 signaled the start of the period, and over the next 450 years, their armor and weapons were ingeniously updated to make them more powerful fighting machines. Thank you.
Okay, the last part of the Middle Ages was a time of trouble. England and France fought the 100 Years' War between 1337 and 1453. Then a plague disease called the bubonic plague killed about 1/3 of the people in Europe. Let's going to talk about 100 Years' War by Daniela.
Today, I want to tell history. The 100 Years' War was fought between England and France and lasted from 1337 to 1453. How did it start? Do you know? Israeli incidents and battles has been going to be between French and English for years. However, in 1357, King Edward of England claimed that he was the rightful king of France. This began the love battle between the two countries. Edward did not attempt to conquer and control the land of France. Instead, he let right into the land called Tibet. He will strike deep into the land of the French, burning rocks, plundering cities, and causing havoc. The French, were inspired by Joan of Arc, leadership, and sacrifice, continued to fight back. They pushed the English army out of France, taking Bordeaux in 1453, signing the end of the Hundred Years. Some interesting facts about the war is past exactly 116 years. That means a lot of people like their life when the war was going on. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now a story from Joan of Arc, Juana de Arco, by Eloise from first grade, and Jesus from 7th, and Valentina. Valentina is going to tell us the story about Joan of Arc. Juana de Arco. An applause for them.
Welcome to this story. We begin with a woman whose name was Joan of Arc, an extraordinary figure, a true woman of all seasons, for material resources in France. She was the last hope in the cause of the 100 Years' War. She appeared in the court of the Laval, claiming that the Archangel Michael had told her to expel the English from the French land. So they sent her to recapture the city of Orleans. And within 8 days, Joan managed to recapture the city. After some years, she was captured by the English, but she attempted to escape once by jumping from a 21-meter height on the 3rd of May. Joan of Arc was burned twice and her ashes were scattered into the river.
Okay, thank you so much. Muy bien, Juana de Arco es una santa que recibió hace unos años una visión por Miguel, el arcángel Miguel, quien le dijo que debía liderar guerras contra los ingleses para liberar su pueblo francés de las invasiones. Entonces, ella decide ir y liberar a su pueblo, ¿no? La primera mujer en colocarse un escudo, recordemos que era trabajo de los hombres ser caballeros, y ella, con su escudo, muy valiente, defiende a su pueblo, y al finalizar, pues la creían loca, porque era muy raro en esa época ver a una mujer liderar guerras. Entonces es quemada viva, y es la forma en que muere Juana de Arco. Thank you, Eloise. Thank you, everyone. Okay, now we have a story that it seems like that we are living nowadays. Una historia muy parecida a la que empezamos a vivir el año pasado, a la pandemia, pero en la Edad Antigua, en la Edad Media. La peste negra por Sebastián. Muy parecida. Se dice que de unos barcos de China llegaron unas ratas a Europa. En esa época la gente era muy sucia, no se bañaban casi, ¿verdad? Vivían en el mugre, los baños no existían, eran letrinas de madera. Por lo tanto, ha llegado una pandemia como la que llegó el año pasado y arrasó con la mitad de Europa. Existían médicos que usaban este tipo de caretas y ellos creían que se protegían de esta manera de la plaga.
Sebastián nos hablará un poco más.
There, or Black Death Family was the most devastating flood of all human history. And that was affecting Russia in 14th century. It is difficult to know exactly the number of deaths, but contemporary studio estimate 80 to 200 million of deaths on Russia and North Africa. It is estimated that between the 30% and 60% population of Europe died. Being natural, according to Newspeak history, the census value of the region of the Black Fox explains that it came of an outbreak of a variant of Yersinia pestis, Bacillus Yersinia pestis. And this time you could be healthy in the morning, in the afternoon you could be with high fever, and in the night you could die. And some symptoms that it presents is high fever exceeding 40 degrees, bloody nose and other nose, and colors blue, dark bubbles on the neck, the arms, the legs, and behind the ears. Thank you.
Okay, now, thank you so much, Sebastián. Now let's gonna learn about the invention of the imprint with Salomé and Johannes Gutenberg. Una de las invenciones, ya finalizando la época medieval, fue la imprenta, da inicio al Renacimiento y la época moderna. Vamos a escuchar a Salomé y a Tomás.
Johannes Gutenberg. In the days of castles, kings and knights, a door was something rare. It was made by hand from before with lots of gold spear. Did a clever man, named Gutenberg said. So he launched a secretary in his workshop, where he hid, and thousands of them started to ask, what's going on inside? When Gutenberg was hard at work without his expertise, he built little blocks to make his metal ABCs. He arranged them in a block of type and smeared it water to ink, then pressed it down on paper. For years he toiled and painted, he lost his consciousness, he brought his great invention. He printed out some scribbles, which were nice, but just start. But then he made his famous Bibles, which were splendid works of art. The prime press only changed the world. Now everyone has books, not only kings and nobles, but farmers, maids, and cooks. So today, whenever you enjoy a book or magazine, just remember that it's started with the first machine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. An applause for Johannes Gutenberg. Now, another word in the medieval times, in England this time. Una guerra en Inglaterra, otra después. Vamos a escuchar al teacher Luis Fernando con The War of Roses, la guerra de las
Flores. An applause.
Thank you very much, Teacher Karen. I appreciate the time here and all London Bilingual Institute family today. I want to tell you about the World of Roses. Do you know what is the World of the Roses? Do you know? Okay. Okay. And what was it? The War of the Roses was a civil war was in England from 1455 to 1487. However, the battles were mostly small and were in years apart. The War of the Roses was fought between two families, the family of the House of York and the House of the Lancaster. And why the name? What do you think? Why the name? What do you think? Why the name is the War of the Roses? Yeah, the sidewalks is based on the sidewalks of the houses. The House of Lancaster was representing red rose, and the House of York was representing white rose. And what's the reason of that war? What do you think about two principal reasons? The first, both families claim to have a right to the English throne. And if you think it has a similarity with the Game of Thrones. Do you know Game of Thrones? Do you know? No. Oh. Okay, that's okay. But one of the roses because those families was lead the English throne. But it isn't heard that the current king, the King Henry VI, was mentally ill and was being advised by corrupt and popular nobles. The end of the war was when the House of Tudor defeats the House of York in 1487, and Henry VII led and unified the England kingdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, teacher. Okay, let's going to end the Middle Ages with the Discovery of America by Valentina Fuentes.
Okay, today I'm going to tell you 7 important facts of October 12th, Discovery of America. The Catholic monarch gathered in an audience for the first time to hear his proposal, but at first they also rejected. No. Continent was named America in honor of Italian navigator Amerigo Vespucci. When he drew the first world map and named it, there were only 2 carabels, La Pinta and La Niña. La Santa Maria was a larger ship. There were no women on board on Colon journey. La Santa Maria later returned to Spain. The ship crashed into a river. Columbus, before he died, claimed in one of his last letters that the earth was reshaped. In America, there were 20 million Aztecs and very reduced. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that was the presentations from Middle and Ancient Ages. Now let's go and listen. Vamos a escuchar la presentación de Valentina con el violín. Nos va a mostrar un ejemplo de la música en la época antigua y la época medieval. Okay? Pay attention to her.
Husband, I want to tell you important thing. I need your silence and your attention moment because Valentina is an artist, and I need your attention. I need your silence. The music connects with people when you connect your mind with the feelings and the sensations of the music that travel to hear. And please, I want to tell you, I think that I want your silence and your attention. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valentina. And thank you everyone for your attention.
Okay, in name of the take the word of the score. I want to thank you to everything. I want to thank you for your attention. And I know teacher Inez in the next steps in the next section is your choice, and I want to you all enjoy this moment because the English week is the preferred moment in the year for everyone in this school. Okay, thank you for your attention and.
Now we are going to say that you are another member for the ECC.
Muy bien. Quiero agradecer un agradecimiento en especial a la teacher Patricia, a la teacher Diana, que me colaboró con el grupo primero, a la teacher Nelly con el grupo cuarto, a la teacher Joana con el grupo séptimo, gracias a los jóvenes de séptimo por esas presentaciones. A décimo, muchísimas gracias por toda la colaboración, Natalie, Sebastián, Brian, Daniela, Casper, Joel, Valentina, el teacher Luis Fernando, como lo dijo la teacher Inés. Ha mejorado muchísimo el inglés. Felicitaciones y gracias a todos. Muchísimas gracias. Vamos a cambiarlo, a tomar un descanso. A la teacher Rodolfo.
Ok, esperamos a los niños de cuarto, teacher Nelly. Bien. Nuevamente, entonces, sabemos de la actividad del día de hoy. Felicitamos entonces al equipo de trabajo del día de hoy, conformado por el grado primero, el grado cuarto, el grado séptimo, el grado décimo, y liderado por la teacher Karen del departamento de inglés. De verdad, muy nutrida la presentación, muy ilustrada en la parte de las diferentes épocas, y pues en este camino de la semana del inglés estamos haciendo la evolución que iniciamos el día de hoy. Entonces, un agradecimiento muy especial a aquellos estudiantes que en casa se conectaron, muy agradecidos con los padres de familia por la vinculación, el sentido de pertenencia con la institución, por colaborarnos para que esta semana continúe siendo un éxito, con toda la dedicación que hacen con los niños, con los chicos más grandes también, de conseguir los trajes. Muchas, pero muchísimas gracias en nombre de toda la familia del equipo de trabajo del Bilingüe Londres, que esto se lo debemos a cada uno de ustedes. Ojalá a hoy inclusive llegaron otros chicos que se retornaron. Con el favor de Dios, sé que después de la semana de vacaciones, de este receso que vamos a tener, vamos a incorporarnos y vamos a seguir llevando esta vida normal, haciendo uso adecuado de todo el manejo de protocolos de bioseguridad. Entonces, de verdad, un gracias, un fuerte aplauso nuevamente al equipo de trabajo del día de hoy. A ustedes mismos por el comportamiento, chicos, que el clima ha estado bastante agradable, muy bueno, entonces, que sea. Mañana, ayer lo dijo la teacher Diana, si mal no estoy, recuerden, mañana nos vamos a conectar con las actividades del bicentenario de la Constitución, entonces vamos a conectarnos mañana desde casa, mañana no venimos a actividad presencial. El día viernes lo hacemos de manera normal. Hay algunas restricciones para los pico y placa, pero obviamente, chicos, tenemos que también ser conscientes de esa invitación a los padres de familia, que el pico y placa no viene de la pandemia, entonces no podemos utilizar esa excusa de pico y placa, porque realmente esto viene desde antes de la pandemia, estas medidas que ha tomado la parte municipal. Entonces, quedamos en un receso para que los chicos de pronto se van a tomar fotos, Luis Fernando, Patricia, Joana, Nelly, que son el equipo de trabajo, se van a tomar las fotos adicionales. Los demás grupos vamos a realizar la cita